Hey guys, it's Battalion Clash again, and I'm back to showcase to you guys our two recent war recap. But this time I'm just gonna show you guys the beginner attacks, and the guys in global are like telling me, kind of like put out the video for um uh beginner attacks because some of the guys are actually new, and if you look on YouTube, some of the attacks are like old, and since the new meta came up and there's a new update coming up, and hopefully this attack would also be still effective. And here we are starting with our 2 wars ago. Again, 3 starred by first we're gonna start off. Wait, this was the war. I think, yeah, this is 2 wars ago. Yeah. First, you basically, like what I was saying, it's like you gotta watch out for this kind of base right here because sometimes they have like a Valkyrie on the base. If it is a dragon, it's easier to kill because a dragon is just a single like unit. Even though it has a 20 count unit, it's still a single unit. Now, if he has like a lot of stuff in there, like a Valkyrie and then a mix of giants, balloons, and all that, those are kind of like harder to kill, especially the Valkyrie and then the loons. You can pretty much just drop just CC balloons if you have this kind of type of setup base. This is a type of engineered bases. And this clan right here is like an engineered base, kind of like us. We're like slight engineered bases, but these guys right here, they have like extra tunnel 10 and an extra tunnel 11, and we're kind of like always like on a disadvantage side playing against this type of clans, and we have to be in our A game every time we play against this type of clans. And this one right here is like the basic attack, right? So this one right here is a tunnel 5 against a tunnel 4, I think, or also a tunnel 5. But like I was talking about before, this one right here, you have to target the air defense because if you're using balloons, the very first thing you target is the air defense because it would actually ruin a raid for the balloons. And they use the hog to target that, to eliminate it, and they use the giants to tank for the archers, and then just send in the balloons. This is like basic attack for like town hall 4, 3, 4, 5, and you can use it at town hall 6 also. Um, because at town hall 9, you're gonna start using this. It's gonna be more complex, and I'm gonna show you guys later in a different video a town hall 9 attack. Say same as this one right here. For war, you don't want to put the town hall in the middle. You want to use it as a shield because it has a higher HP. So the one you have to protect is your clan castle and your air defense. This two right here is like the basically um, two things that you want to be protected. You don't want your clan castle to be pulled like right away. It's really hard to do it like tunnel 7 and below because tunnel 7 and below you don't have enough buildings and enough defense building to actually cover the outside. And this is one of the most effective way to kill the Valkyrie. You just send one giants and then have the archers behind it and have the Valkyrie target the giants first. And pretty much it's the same thing. You drop in the loons, drop in the giant, and after you're done with that, you targeted the air defense, it's pretty much a done deal. All you need to do is drop in cleanups troops all the way around the base. Make sure you have enough archers and scout wherever the farthest building, because if you drop the balloons on one side, of course they're going to end up on the other side. So you always clean up on the side where you started. That's a basic attack for any that's town hall 9 and below. Actually goes to town hall 11 and below. I don't have a town hall 11 base, but I've seen a lot of attacks that does the same thing. And most of my bases are, my max is like 4 town hall 10. See, it's the same thing, same strategy. Always effective to do it this way. This is not as easy as what you think it is. It's actually pretty hard to do this attack. Even though it's a beginner, it's very complex to do this type of attack because you have to make sure that everything is timed right. You don't want to be sending the balloons too early because even though the level 1 air defense, it would still break down your balloons. And then of course Tunnel 5 and above, you have to watch out for the air traps. You don't want to be dropping all the balloons. Didn't have to use the spell because the Tunnel 6 against the Tunnel 5 is really no match with that type of attack. And here we are, it's like showing death. He's one of our new players and he got promoted to Elder. He's a really good attacker, and I was told by him that he has a Tunnel 10. You can tell if the player actually has a higher account, and you'll see that the skill level that they have is totally different, a lower level account, because you can actually pretty much relate to the account that you have a higher up, and it will be a lot easier for you to attack like lower town halls using even though you have a low count, as long as you have a max heroes. Very effective using a lightning on the other side. I know it's a tunnel 7 versus a tunnel. This is technically a tunnel 6, but it's a tunnel 7. Just zap the other lightning and then just use one hog to actually get the other air defense. It's kind of weird though that some of these guys are actually doing so much of this bases, like actually rush bases, because later on you're gonna see a bunch of like rush tunnel 8s and tunnel 9s. And the one thing that they didn't upgrade is the air defense. In a tunnel 9 and below, or actually tunnel 11 and below, any base that you have, the very first thing you upgrade is basically, of course, your clan castle, like I advised you guys on the previous video. And then the second one you upgrade is basically this one right here, is your air defense and your Tesla. I would put the Tesla first because those are all hidden, and the other your enemy basically won't see what type of Tesla you have, and they're more powerful than Archer Tower. They're not as powerful for against air defenses, as far as like targeting air troops, but basically the Tesla, it actually pauses sometimes, and if it is placed smart, you can pretty much get it right. You can tell if the level, the skill that they have, like this one right here, is very, this is very complex even on the beginner side. If you can practice this and then you perfect it, when you get to like tunnel 8, 9, and then 10, this will be a lot easier for you because you started the attack like this. As long as you have a clan that's actually can donate to you like max troops, doesn't even actually, it doesn't even need to be max troops, like second max, like a level 6 hogs and a level 6 balloons, whichever the type of army composition you're gonna use. See this one right here? You can tell it's like anti-air, right? So he's basically trying to, he's down there and he's trying to try to be defending against like a dragon attack, basically. Even though I'm a tunnel 7, this is one of my low account, I can pretty much manage to actually get this base. I use 3 dragons, so the enemy CC dragon would die like right away. You didn't see that one. I dropped the dragon first and then the 3 balloons. And then I dropped the balloons on this side right here to get all 3 balloons at the same time. Because you can only get one, the tunnel 8 and below. A tunnel 9 you can use 2 zap quake. I mean, that's basically 2 lightning and a earthquake spell, and then you can have like 2 pairs of them, or 1 pair, or I mean, yeah, 2 pairs. So you're gonna need 4 lightnings and 2 earthquake spell, a tunnel 9. You can still use that if the base is actually made up right. So this one right here is, this is a good max tunnel 7 base. The problem with this type of base is it's so easy to get, because this one right here, you can see he's not really protecting anything. He's only protecting from the defense on this side right here. So really, you can basically strike zap this air defense right here and get this with a dragon. But Party Man is actually really smart at attacking this with hogs, because as you can see, there's not much of a traps in inside the base, and the spring traps are actually predictable, and so as the giant bomb, so you can tell it's going to be on the outside somewhere. You just have to be smart placing your heal spell, A base like this is not much you can do against hogs. To be honest, it's like defending against hogs. A town hall 7, even though it's a level 1 hog, there is no way that you can defend it unless your springs are actually placed right. As you can see, not much of hogs are actually being reduced, and there's still got a massive hogs. That's like perfect. You start your cleanup troops on this side right here, and the hogs ended up on that side. That's how you're supposed to start your cleanup. And he didn't have enough for this builder huts, but you always leave like a couple of archers so you can start your cleanup. Because once you drop the last spell, um, you can start doing the cleanup. But what I do when I do the attack with hogs, as soon as I drop the hogs, like if I do a surgical, I drop one wizard like behind them, so it always leave like one or 1 to 3 wizards. In the end, if you run out of wizards, it's gonna be a hard time to do a cleanup. The earlier you do a cleanup, the better it is because sometimes they run out of time. And 99% 2-star is not really enough to win a war. You need to 3-star every single base, Town 9 and below, and then just like you have to depend on your Town Hall 10 players, how good they are. If you have a Town Hall player that's not good in war, there's something wrong with them. It's either they have a low level troop, low level hero. For Town Hall 10, level 30 hero is very low against a max Town Hall 10 base. If the Town Hall 10 base is pretty rush, then that's okay. If you still have like a Town Hall 9 defense and a couple and just even though you have a max Inferno, you can still get the base. It depends on the base's setup. As long as the defense is Town Hall 9 and you have like a level 30 heroes. But if you have like 25, like it's not really that good. It's not as good as it's not as effective as having a high heroes. So you always push your heroes. It's a lot better when you attack, and you will notice your heroes will die, uh, not as fast, and your attacks will be more effective. You can see you're seeing a lot of like rush bases, like their tunnel eights, or have like low air defenses. This is the one I was talking about earlier, and this is the one thing you don't want to do. And this one right here, I don't see any of his air sweeper, and air sweeper is part of the game. The reason why they did this is like because back in the day, all their tunnel eights, no matter what you do, it gets wrecked by a dragon attack, and they added a sweeper in there. If the sweeper is smart, uh, placed smartly, you can pretty much get the base. You can see the basic attack. You drop the dragon and use a tank, and then drop the balloons behind it, and you target the air defense. The closest path to the air defense is the most effective all the time. If you get lucky, either you don't catch all the traps, but sometimes it depends on the base how good they are, and you absorb all the air traps. And then the dragons is too slow to get the base. See this one right here, another rush base. And I was looking at their main base. I thought they just like didn't update their their base, their war base. See this one right here. I forgot to drop the loons. I mean, Carson forgot to drop the loons. It was kind of like slow. Could have dropped as soon as you start targeting the dragon on that side. You could have dropped the balloons on this side right here to target this. Instead, he chose to go this way and then waited for so long. Drop the dragon there on that side and then drop the balloons. Could have dropped it a little earlier. It would have been more effective. Being careful is good, but being too careful is not because you will run out of time, and most of the time you'll run out of dragons. The dragons are good when they are lined up together, one dragon per building, since now they hit faster and stronger than before, but they're still not effective if the base is set up right. Another like farm base, one thing you don't want to do is creating a farm base for your war. As you can see, he wrecks this like really easy because the base is so square. Like I was talking about creating a war base, you want your base, even though it looks square, but the buildings around it, you make it like look like a circle, like going around, and that makes the dragons go around. So when you set up a base, make sure that you do that. See, he just started, same thing as me, a new Town Hall 8, and my base with this account of Flaming Blaze, it's actually my son's account. It's been defending like every single war, and you guys can watch on that video. It's like how to make a war base, and you can copy that if you really wanted to. But there's a weak side on that. It's just even a Tunnel 7 can get that base. But you just have to be smart where you drop. Like this one right here. See the back door, dropping the loons in the back. You don't have to start in the front all the time with the balloons. You just have to make sure that you use your balloons smartly, and the shortest path to the air defense is the best way to go all the time. Mm, Again, low level air defense, and you can see he's protecting his town hall. I don't know why you do that. I mean, for us that's good. As you can see, he sent balloons on the side to where he can get the air defenses a lot faster, and most of his balloons are alive in the end, and that's how you know that the base is totally wrecked. I think that's the last for the Tunnel 8. Nope, this one right here, I think. This is the closest max Tunnel 8 that they have. You can see I hit that in the middle using my other son's account. So I get the air tower, archer tower, and then damage the other air defense. The sweeper is facing this way, so of course you're gonna attack this way. It's easy to funnel on this side because of the army camp. So I try to cut this as much as possible. I didn't try to lure the CC. I think I didn't try to lure the CC in this time. I just went on and try to get this beast. Stack my dragons in the middle. See, I went on this side for the balloons on this side, and I tried on this side right here. My balloons only benefited for a little bit of time, but still made it there on time. It's really hard to set up a base to where you can defend against the hogs, valkyries, and dragons. And that's it for that war recap for the beginner attacks. And I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.